I'm Juliana Habisreitinger, a first-year STEM and 6th grade math teacher at West Feliciana Middle School in West Feliciana Parish School District. This lesson is taught to 7th graders who I see every other day on A-days. The curriculum for STEM comes from LSU STEM Pathways. In this lesson, the students will be able to analyze the growth of microbes and make inferences about the growth of microbes around the school. Before this lesson, the students went around the school and swabbed different areas for microbes, like the cafeteria tables, basketballs, stairs, and light switches. During this lesson, they will identify the type of microbes that are in their petri dish after they've grown for about 4 days, and they will also make inferences and claims about how the bacteria is growing in the school. Through this lesson, my students will be able to work towards their goals of becoming critical thinkers and problem solvers. By making and justifying claims and analyzing their microbes, they'll work to not only become critical thinkers in STEM class, but throughout all of their classes. Y'all remember last class we went all over the school and swabbed the basketballs, the cafeteria, all of that stuff? That's what is on your desk on the petri dishes, and the index card has the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 and what you swabbed. Don't open the petri dishes, please. That's microbes and bacteria. Don't open them. That's nasty. Please don't. So, before we get started and figuring out what kind of bacteria they are, we're going to play a game. So, everybody's got some game cards on your table, and we're going to play It, Say It. So, on this Canva up here, I'm going to show you either a picture, a word, or a description. And it's going to tell you, you've either got to play a word, a picture, or a description to match it. So you might be matching bacteria, you might be matching penicillium, you might be matching bread mold, and you might be matching yeast. Those 4 ones we talked about last class. But here's the kicker. You can't just match, you've got to justify your answer. So the first one is you're going to play a picture that matches the following description. On a petri dish, it can appear discolored, smooth, wrinkly, or slimy, blotches of white, or dark colored circles. So you've got to play me that picture that matches it. And remember, you can use your seesaw as a guide and maybe write down your justification on your whiteboard so you're ready.
Let me see it. What did they say? On a picture dish, it can appear discolored, smooth, wrinkly, slimy blotches, or white or dark colored circles. Okay, and that's bacteria.
Y'all ready? Yes. Which one is it? Which one do y'all say it is? Oh, y'all got a justification? Yes, I do. Okay. All right, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to play. All right, 3, 2, 1, hold it in the air. All right, I'm seeing some different ones. Which one do they see the most of? Bacteria, penicillium, bread mold, or yeast? Bacteria. Y'all can put the cards down. Does anybody want to justify why they held up a picture of bacteria? Go for it, Colin.
My table talked about how there's no other bacteria, or bread mold or yeast that have multicolored circles, and also the bottom part on bacteria matches that.
Awesome, thank you. And does bacteria, is it slimy or is it fuzzy? Slimy. And which one's fuzzy? Bread mold's fuzzy? And penicillium is fuzzy? And what about yeast? Yeah, so our only one that's slimy is what? The bacteria. Play me a word that matches the picture.
You see some green? I see a little green. I say yellowish green now.
Yeah, like right here, there's a little green.
All right, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to play it, sorry. All right, 3, 2, 1, play it. So, who wants to justify? Someone who hasn't justified yet. Zane.
It's the only one that's actually like green and fuzzy. Yes. Like bacteria is green, but it's slimy, and that one's fuzzy.
That is very fuzzy. All right, so what you're going to do now is you're going to sketch me a rough draft of your petri dish. But y'all, when y'all do that, think about think about what you swabbed when you're drawing it. Why do you think it grew the way it did? Or maybe start thinking about what type of microbe you think it is.
Let's see, the third one was a bit like, they're bigger actually, and they're like less dense.
Wait, that could be.
Yeah, there might be a bit of bread mold in there, maybe.
All right, so everybody flip your packet over to the next page, over to the back. And now we're going to identify what type of microbe we've got in your Petri dish. So, on the left side with a column, you're going to say if it was a bacteria, a penicillium, a yeast, or a bread mold. And then on the right, you're going to justify it.
It's not a clean bleacher.
No, it is not a clean bleacher. No, it's not a clean staircase. That's the stairs. Yeah, does it look fuzzy or does it look slimy to you? Slimy, so slimy is going to be our. Yeah, so then do those same things with 3 and 4. Look and see if they're slimy, if they're fuzzy, and what color they are.
Now you moved on to bread mold for 4.
Yeah, it has the black dot and it has like the cloud around it.
Yeah.
All right, how's that justification stuff going? Great. So most of y'all had what? Bacteria, but I definitely saw some bread molds out there. And most of the bread molds, like Colin said, came from the cafeteria. Or the bleachers in the gym. Yes, so for this next one, I'm going to split y'all up into groups. So y'all listen. So the first step, it's right under there. It says comparing microbes. In the box below, you're going to look at your 2 Petri dishes and you're going to pick a quadrant that looks really similar to someone else's. And you're going to tell me how they look similar, and you're going to tell me what each of you swabbed.
So I say y'all want to compare 4 and y'all's 4 and R3 because those are the one with the most.
Y'all's are all bacteria just like ours too.
Yeah. What did y'all swab? What did 4 swab?
Look, it looks like you've got some bacteria, and what else do you think you got right here? It's fuzzy, huh? Yeah. Y'all both look like y'all have some kind of mold. So y'all could compare that right there. So y'all describe those 2 that you've got that are similar, and then you make sure your mind tell me where you swabbed.
Okay, so can I see? Wait, so yours is 2. So this is your 2.
Yes.
And this is our 3. Our basketballs are kind of similar because we're
from the same place.
Yeah.
All right. So we said how they look similar. Now we're gonna justify and we're gonna give our reasonings on why we think they are similar. So for this next one, we want to explain why you think they look the same. So I've got an example up there on my PowerPoint. It says we both labeled our microbes as bacteria. We think our microbes look similar because both the stairs and the doors are high-touch places in the school. So y'all give me a reason, make a claim, and justify why you think they look the same. Which 2 were y'all similar to?
The cafeteria bench and the water fountain.
Oh, okay. And they both had what?
Bread mold.
Why do you think that is?
Maybe from the cafeteria bench, it might be because it's in the cafeteria and you could have just got touched your hands with a lot of food because they usually have bread in there.
Yeah.
And then in the water fountain, after you eat, because some stuff could be dry, you can go get a sip of water and put your hands on it.
Yeah. That's a good one. I like that explanation. What were the 2 things y'all swabbed that were similar with the other group?
They had
Bacteria.
Bacteria, and what did y'all swab?
we swabbed the basketball. They swabbed the cafeteria bench, and the other one swabbed the foot pedal at the cafeteria.
Ew, why do you think all those are similar?
Because they're daily used, and I don't think some of those are get cleaned.
That maybe not as often as we would like.
Yes.
Can y'all explain to me the 2 things that look similar and why y'all said they did?
We said that they were all bacteria and were high contact areas. So basically, a lot of things like you would say at the water station foot pedal where everyone washes their hands, that is a really high contact area. And basketballs at the gym, have a lot of things too. So we're going on from what our group did. So yeah. And we said that bacteria is almost everywhere. So there's not really many places you can't find bacteria.
Yep, there's bacteria all over my room. Everywhere. No. And there's bacteria all inside of you, right? All right, so what we're going to do in this next one is we just picked 2 quadrants that looked the same. Now we're going to pick 2 quadrants that look really different.
Yes, that's ours.
No, that'd be the same.
What'd y'all swap for number 2?
Did you bring the?
It's right here. Cafeteria bench.
All right, so y'all tell me your 2 quadrants, anybody that were really different. Zane, what was y'all's 2? What were y'all's again? They all swabbed different?
We did our number 3, which was bacteria, which was the swab stairs, and we're doing their number 1, which is bread mold. What did y'all swab?
Door handle.
They did it door handle.
So what you're going to do now is you're going to justify why you think they're different, just like why you told me you think they looked the same.
Then we had the stairs, and it's something that gets used a lot that doesn't get cleaned often, so that's why we have bacteria.
And then theirs is the door handle, which gets cleaned often, but still gets touched a lot, so it's still gonna
So
have
like a teacher could
bacteria.
so it had food, it had bread mold on it, so that means they could eat and then get it on the door handle when they try to open it.
It's like someone just came from lunch and then touched it.
That could happen too. So that's what we could write down.
All right, so what we're going to do now is I heard some really good justifications on why your Petri dishes grew different microbes. Ian, can you tell me a little bit about the 2 things y'all compared?
We compared bread mold and bacteria, and the bacteria was found. So the bread mold was found in the cafeteria, and the bacteria was found in a different place. The cafeteria, the heat from like the kitchen could be causing it to go through a different chemical change. Could be causing it to look different, or just look different. And then in the gym, it'll be at like room temperature, so it'll definitely be different from what is going on in the cafeteria because it's not warm in there.
Yeah, so different environments and different climates can affect things differently. And that kind of goes back to what we talked about earlier, right? With ecology and all those different climates and how those all affected the living things. Except now we're not talking about trees, we're talking about little itty bitty things that we had to grow so we could see it. Everybody, it's time for your favorite thing in the world, $5 and $10 questions. I'm letting you write one $1 question, so you get to write me a $1 question, which you know are those basic, easy questions you can just give me an answer to. And then about your Petri dish or somebody else's. Then you gotta write me a $5 or $10 Petri question about your Petri dish. You need one $1, one $5 or $10.
Is there bacteria everywhere? Because that's just a simple question to me, at least. Determine the better.
Could you
How could you verify the different
microbes?
Yeah.
Alright, a $5 question. On our copy sheet, I think we should do analyze. I don't think apply would really help.
All right, so we're about to end, but before we do, I want y'all to share some of your $5 and $10 questions. So Lee, can you start with yours?
What would happen if you left the Petri dish alone for a week?
What do y'all think would happen if we left the Petri dish alone for a whole week? A lot, right? It would be pretty nasty because that just happened in a few days. Yeah, Colin?
Discuss the pros and cons of yeast.
Discuss of what? Yeast. Do y'all think y'all could discuss some pros and cons of all those yeast and molds? Yeah? Y'all have a great day. I will see you all on Friday. In this lesson on analyzing microbes, my students were able to meet the objectives of being able to analyze the growth of microbes. They were able to not only identify what type of microbes were on their Petri dish, but make inferences and claims about what the effects they have in our school community and compare them with their peers. I know this by looking at their responses on the handout I gave them. I was able to see clear answers and explanations of the microbes, their claims on why there were certain types of microbes, and their claims on why they were similar and different from their peers. After this lesson, we will be discussing the importance of taking your antibiotics completely when prescribed to you by a doctor, because bacteria can and will become resistant to antibiotics. Through the first few months of teaching at West Feliciana Middle School, I've really enjoyed learning from all of the staff, faculty, admin, and teachers who have been so helpful to me, a first-year teacher who's still learning and growing every single day. They've been so helpful with giving me innovative ideas, suggestions, and coming into my room with anything I could ever need to become a successful teacher.